The great thing about having a stable velocity metric is that it allows you to predict one of two things. Either, given an amount of work, amount of software you want built, how long is it going to take to build that? Or, given a fixed amount of time, how much work, how much software can I build in that time period? Let's look at an example of that second scenario, which turns out to be extremely useful. Let's say you have a team that reliably produces between 20 and 25 points worth of production-ready software in each 2-week iteration. And let's assume that you have a hard deadline that's 10 weeks from today. Having a stable, predictable velocity allows you to do the following. You start out with a release plan that shows 100 points worth of software, 20 points per iteration times 5 iterations, 100 points. I can do this no matter what. And up to 125 points are the nice to haves, because sometimes the team gets up to 25 points per iteration. Well, that's great, and that's useful, and that gives us a certain level of confidence that I'll hit my date. But even more importantly is what happens after the first iteration or the second iteration when we learn stuff. We get new ideas in. We learn more about how hard or easy something is. Perhaps priorities change due to circumstances beyond our control. With a predictable velocity, what we can do is say, all right, we've got 80 points left, and here's 30 points worth of potential new things we could add in. Can we do that? Well, the answer is yes, we can do that as long as we take out 30 other points. Well, I don't want to take out all 30 points. I just want to take out 15 points, and okay, well, then we can take 15 of those new points. And if everybody trusts the team's velocity metric, those kind of conversations and those decisions can become routine. Rather than being an antagonistic situation between a vendor and its customer, they can become a cooperative, collaborative effort to figure out how do we best use that capacity that we have remaining. That's the power of a stable, predictable velocity. You have to have a couple of things in place for velocity to serve as a good predictor of future output. First, you have to have stories that are small enough relative to the iteration size so that the law of averages will kick in. Second, the stories obviously need to be sized consistently with each other, and that includes new stories that come in as we go. They need to be sized consistent with the older stories. Third, you need to have some sort of fixed time interval over which you're measuring. Fourth, the team needs to be relatively stable, although teams can tolerate a certain amount of changing composition and maintain a fairly stable velocity. And most importantly, velocity cannot be used as a reward or as a punishment. It just has to be a measurement. As soon as you start incentivizing people or punishing people because of their velocity, you get all sorts of weird inconsistencies in what you see in velocity. So with those 5 things in place, most teams can achieve a fairly predictable velocity after only just a short time.